Yadadai dai dai dai. Yadadai dai yadadai dai. Yadadai dai 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 dai. Yadadai dai dai. Yadadai dai 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 dai. Yadadai dai dai dai. Yadadai dai dai. Yada da 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 dum. Yada da da da. Yada da da yada da da dum. Yada da yada yada da. Yada da yada. Yada da 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 yada da. Yada da da da. Yada da da da, yada da yada da dum, yada da da da, yada da yada da dum. Boker Tov, good morning. It's a day full of allergens out there, and so I'm trying to reflect on just that it's a beautiful day and not with all of the added bonuses that come along. So I was not on last night to count the Omer. I got involved trying to figure something out for a funeral family and looked up and it was 10:15 and I was like, you know what? As long as we count before the next day, we're still okay. Exactly, Bet. The flowers, the pollen, the trees, the grass, all of those beautiful things that we're supposed to notice, take note of the beauty that exists in the world around us. It looks beautiful, but my entire respiratory system does not agree. But it's okay. Here we are. We're alive and well. It's just a little bit of allergy. So, yesterday, like meaning the day before, was day 26, which was Hod Sheba Netzach, which was gratitude within eternity. And so it's our job to open to whatever is unfolding in our lives and to reach for gratitude even when we don't necessarily feel overly grateful. And so gratitude helps us lift beyond our own pain, beyond our own fear and doubt, and helps us to find this strength to stand in the moment and to discern the path forward. And so when we come forward, as we moving forward into today's day, which began last night, we do the blessing, we add sanctity to our lives. There are reasons why we count the Omer, and sometimes it's just about checking in, and sometimes it's about really this deep spiritual connection to ourselves. And so support matters from one another. We're not meant to push through alone. We're just trying to find some gratitude and some connection. And it's okay to acknowledge when things are hard. It doesn't weaken us, it grounds us. So let's count for today. Yesterday was day 26, and so let's count for today. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer Hayom Shiva Vesrim Yom Shehem Shlosha Shavuot Vishisha Yamim LaOmer. This is the 27th day, totaling 3 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Yisod Sheba Netzach, or Yisod within Netzach, or foundation and bonding within the week of endurance. And so wisdom is flowing. Like there's a foundation within forever, right? It's the ground upon which we stand. And so wisdom flows through all creation, and it's revealed through the trees, the mountains, the songs of the river and the sea. Each blade of grass Each blade of grass, each rock, each flower has something to teach. The mystery is waiting to be received. And so on this day, the foundation, sometimes there's lots of songs, contemporary music, Jewish music too, but contemporary music about the earth being beneath our feet, to ground ourselves in that which is creation. And so when we go through today, we want to try and notice what in the natural world attracts our attention. Something I always marvel at is in this time of year is the green of the grass. It's a different kind of color than it is obviously in other seasons. In winter it's dry and burnt, but not burnt, frozen and done, not full of life. But the green coloring, when you look outside and the sky is so blue and everything is starting to bloom and we're complaining, but when we look around to notice the color of the green, the color of the blue sky. And so each thing, each part of nature carries a message. And so perhaps today, if we can spend a few moments wondering what that wisdom is conveying to us. Psalm 27 on day 27 says, the mystery says to my heart, seek my presence. The presence of all that was and all that is and all that will ever be, I will seek. For I'm grounded in the mystery. May my heart be strong and filled with courage, for I am grounded in the mystery. And so this brings us to our Parsha, our Torah reading for this week. And so I didn't want to leave it out because we'll end up with half a teaching on Friday and then do we really unpack this week's Parsha? So you're going to have to hang on for a little longer, a little more wisdom for all of you for today. So Parshat Omer talks about holiness and sacred time and sacred people. But if we don't stop to notice the things around us, which we're talking about currently with the Omer for today on day 27, we'll miss the idea that there is sacred time for sacred people, right? There's things that are to be honored, just like nature and the beauty around us. So this week's portion weaves together two themes that aren't necessarily, at first glance, feeling like they're connected. So the first part is the holiness of the people, particularly the priests or the high rabbis, the ones that are making the rules and decisions, the court, as it were. And then the holiness of time, the festivals that are celebrated. At first glance, it feels like a list. These are the rules, these are the boundaries, these are the sacred days. But underneath it is this deeper question that says, what does it mean to treat something as holy? Where does it come from? We often think of holiness as this separation, something that sets apart, something that's different, something that's higher than or elevated. But the Torah invites us to see it in another way. Holiness is not just about separation. It's about being relatable. How do we relate to it? So the priests are given guidelines, not because they're better, but because they carry a responsibility to live with awareness, to honor their role, to recognize that what they do matters. And then the Torah quickly turns to time. Shabbat, Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot. And these are not just dates on the calendar. They are moadim. They are sacred appointments, sacred moments to check in, moments that take us to a place and ask us to show up differently. There are lots of chagim. There are lots of holidays. Each one comes with its own thing. But these specifically are the multi-day observances that are asking us to pause, to reflect, to reconnect. And this is where the two themes kind of come together, because sacred people and sacred time are asking for the same thing. They're asking for kavod. They're asking for honor. To honor someone is to see them fully, to treat them with care, to recognize their dignity, and to honor time is similar. Don't rush through it. don't treat every moment like the same, and to allow certain moments to be held differently. But if we're honest, it's not so easy, right? It sounds easy. It sounds good on paper, as they say. But it's not always easy because we're living in a world that's moving quickly. It's moving. If you're moving or not, it's moving. You're standing still, the world is still moving. But the issue is time seems to blur together and people get overlooked and everything can start to feel like the same. And this parsha, this portion, this Torah reading of Omer gently interrupts the rhythm and says, hey, pay attention. This moment matters. On the 27th day of the Omer, we just said, hey, pay attention. Pay attention to notice what attracts you in the natural world. What's it trying to say? And that's the rhythm changer, the game changer in Omer. Hey, pay attention. This moment matters. What do we see in it? This person matters. Who are they? How do we honor each other? For holiness is created when we stop and recognize that not everything is ordinary. A conversation can be holy when we're truly present. A relationship can be holy when we treat it with care. And Shabbat especially becomes our weekly reminder. A built-in sacred pause. A moment that says, hey, you don't have to move so fast. Slow down. And you don't have to treat everything the same. There's time for work and there's time for presence. There's time to do and there's time to just simply be. So the question we ask of ourselves is, where in our lives might we bring a little bit more kavod, a little bit more honor to a person, to a moment, and to our own time? As we come to wrap it up, I want to remind you that holiness is not far away. It's created in how we treat one another and how we move through time. May we learn to honor both. May we slow down just enough to notice what matters. And may we show up in our relationships and in our time, bringing a little bit more holiness into the world. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to show up. I'll be back here at 9:30 tonight, I promise. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you, and I'll see you tonight at 9:30. Let's bring a little bit of kavod, a little bit of honor, a little bit of holiness, a little bit of the idea of sacred people and sacred time. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 O Ravinu Chai. Have a great day, everyone.